In this video, I wanted to talk about why the BullX NeoBot is the best bot out on the market right now, even better than its original and the other competitors, which are the Photon and Trojan bots. And so, without wasting too much time, let's get straight into it. Now, on the left hand side, you're going to see a drop down box where you're going to be able to find your wallet manager. Inside the wallet manager, you're going to be able to find the withdrawal and add fund buttons. And so anything you need is going to be on this right hand side. You're going to see your wallet right here. And then any wallet that you're going to be withdrawing funds from to deposit into the BullX wallet, it's going to run a quick security check, which is going to take about 2 hours to authorize that wallet. So just know that right off the bat, it's going to take a couple hours before you can actually use it. So that being said, I wanted to go in and show you a few other features on the UI, the trading UI of the platform. So let's select one of these just so I can show you really quickly. Here you have a very similar trading chart as you would see in TradingView or Deck Screener or Photon or any other platform. You're going to have your time frames right here on the top, as well as you're going to be able to change the types of candles. You're going to have your indicators. You can change from price to market cap. You have bubble maps. You have all the different traders, including yourself, and a few other features here that I'm not going to get too far into. Now, you do have the price, market cap, liquidity, supply on the top. You have a nice little audit feature here, which I like, which a lot of the other platforms do not have. And it's going to tell you right off the bat that this project has about 17% of the top in the top 10 holding. To me, I don't consider that to be a terribly large amount, so I'm gonna go ahead and ignore that for now. Next up, you're gonna find your buy and sell buttons on the right hand side. You can change from market order, which is gonna basically give you the best price possible. You can set a limit where you can choose the exact price that you want to buy from. And then also you have your DCA button, which is kind of nice, a little different from other platforms, which means you can dollar cost average and you can set your parameters here, how many, how much you want to buy, and every hour, every minute, every day. You can set those parameters down here, which is also kind of nice. And then you have an auto sell function. So if I were to come over to sell over here and I wanted to sell at a specific point in the chart or create a stop loss, I could do that by first coming here. If I wanted to slide it to a certain percentage, like I wanted to not lose any more than, I don't know, 50%, then I would put it right here, right? And then you could also come here and slide it up and down if you wanted to. So that's how you would set your stop limit. And then similar to if you wanted to create a buy order, you would do the same thing. You could slide it and take your profit here, here, wherever, or you can come to the chart and do it there as well. So it's pretty seamless, very similar to Photon. No big deal, right? And you could also do some other more advanced stuff on this one. I'm not going to get into it. You could actually create profiles where you have a stop limit to 20% and take profit at 200%. And you can just create a default that way as well. I'll get into that a little bit more on a separate video because that just gets a little bit into the weeds. Besides that, you also have all your drawing tools on the left-hand column, as well as if you were to come down to the bottom, you have a few other metrics down here which are kind of different from other platforms, which I like. You have your dev tokens, right? So sometimes there are several wallets. Like you'll see if you're up here and you selected traders, and it'll say, dev sold, right? You come here and it'll go, if you select dev trades, it'll say dev sold, right? If he did sell, it doesn't look like he sell, he just bought. Oftentimes it'll just say that he sold at the beginning. So you think like, okay, well, he sold all his tokens, cool. Well, if you were to come down here, you will see other wallets and it'll show other tokens in there as well. So just know that they can just sell partially and get the little bubble saying, dev sold. So just be careful with that. So I like that feature down here. Also, if you check on holders here, it's kind of nice because it separates them all into 4 different categories. bot users, which again is one of my favorite metrics about the BullX platform, is that I know how many people are using bots like BullX, like Photon, like Trojan, right? And that tells me a lot. If there are a lot of these types of traders, that tells me there's a lot of smart traders in this project, and potentially this is probably something I want to take a look at. Insider holdings, there's 1.23. This is a nice number to know. Also, the top 10 holders, 16.75. And you can also look at the total amount of holders right here, and it's going up. So this is kind of nice. They have little graphs here so you can see whether it's going up or down from its beginnings. And then whether the top 10 traders are starting to sell, right? You can see that the chart is going down. These are percentage. These are normally you would just get the percentage on other platforms. This is kind of nice because you could actually see whether it's in a decline or if that's an increase from where it's at. Before you just looking at a number you really didn't even know. And then here you're seeing bot users are increasing, which tells me that, hey, man, they're seeing something, right? In my opinion, these are intelligent people, or more intelligent than the average cat, because most of them don't know how to use bots, and more experienced people tend to use them rather than swapping on a DEX into a wallet. And then insiders trading, you can see that for the most part, they sold the majority of them at the beginning, and it looks like they're flatlining. So there's only 1% of them left, which is nice, right? So now you're seeing a chart pump a little bit more organically. And man, I kind of want to get in on this one, but I want to finish this video first. So let's move on to a few other things here. Now, if you were to come over to the settings, you could change a lot of the UI, which I think is, oh, not there. Sorry. If you were to right click on the chart, you can come down to settings. You can change all the colors like I did here. I changed it to this color and this color, and I put it on a gradient. Like if I were to just go solid, it would just be that color by itself. But since I put it on a gradient, I could, have these two colors kind of blend into each other, which makes it a little bit more visually appealing, in my opinion. You could also change the candles by coming over here, right? And you can change the colors here if you wanted to, but I leave them as they are. I like just the transparent one and then this color, right? Whatever that is. I'm colorblind, so I got to use the transparent one. But either way, I can differentiate from them, so that's cool. And then you have your indicators, of course, right here. If you wanted to add the MACD, which I guess I already had on here, I just can't see it because this is a brand new project. So if I come over to not even a minute old, huh? If I come in the seconds, you probably see it. Yeah, so you can see it down here on the bottom. Cool. So that is basically everything that you need to know about the trading portion of this platform, as well as the settings and how to change, the colors and make it look a little bit more appealing to your eye. Now, if you were to come over to the Explore page, it's kind of nice because you can do a lot of work here. Or if you just clicked on the BullX logo, this is actually the home page because this is more of a, I guess, a meme trading platform that utilizes pump funds. So all these coins are coming out of pump fund, and so traders like to use these kinds of bots because of all the features that I just showed you. So now, if you were to look on the left-hand side, and people that know about pump fund, they're pretty familiar with this, right? It looks kind of wonky, but it's not that crazy once you decipher it a little bit more. The left-hand side is essentially ones that are just coming out of pump fund, seconds into their launches, which you can make a lot of money if you know what you're doing, but you could also get rugged pretty quickly because these things come in hot and then they dump, right? So ones that are a little bit more trust, you can put a little bit more trust in, are in this middle column, meaning that they've been around for a little bit, and I would say less than 45 minutes, but have lasted at least that long, so you know that they're not rugging at least right off the bat, and you can trust these a little bit more. But still, you got to be quick on the trigger, and you got to know what you're looking at, and be a little bit more experienced and understand charting, and so, to avoid getting yourself liquidated. I wouldn't recommend these if you guys are really beginners, but if you're intermediate, these start anywhere from 10K to go anywhere up to 100K, because they bond somewhere around 60 to 100K, and they go to radium, or they go to Jupiter so that people could swap them into their wallets. That means they graduated and now they're over in this section. So these are brand new. These are brand new. These are ones that you would see on Dex Screener or Dex Tools or birdeye.so, those types of platforms where they've now bonded and now they are, I guess, legitimized, right? Because now you can swap them out. The regular crowd can swap them out. There's going to be a lot more volume because there's going to be a lot more people involved, and therefore more potential of the project lasting a little bit longer and pumping a little bit harder. So, some of the metrics that you want to understand on this page are some of these, right? Now, I must have not filtered this out that great, but I'll fix this in a second. So, if you come here, this is how old the project is, 3 minutes. Okay, this is how long it's been out. And then the top 10 holders is this next metric, which according to this says 26%. And then you have your developer holding 6%. And over here, you would have your insiders, but unfortunately, I have this blown up so big because of my vision. I got vision issues. You would see a percentage right there, right next to that little rat. Those are the insiders. Okay, so those are the top metrics there. And if you were to come down to this section, these are the total amount of people holding this particular project. This is the amount of bot users, people that use bots, like I mentioned just a second ago. I consider these to be a little bit more advanced, more educated, more savvy type traders. And so the more of this that I have, the better. Okay, I like to see at least 200 of these on a project that is this mature, because that tells me that there's quite a few people that are using more advanced tools like bots, like Trojan, like BullX, like I just mentioned, and for that it gives me a little bit more comfort knowing that people who have experience are actually risking their own hard-earned money on a project. And then you have the market cap, right? And then volume. So volume, market cap, very important. You want to make sure, in my opinion, the best ratio is a 5-to-1 ratio. And as you can see here, it's pretty much a 5-to-1 ratio. I'm sorry, yeah, 421K in volume, and then you have 90 some K in market cap. So let's check this coin out. Let's open up the UI real quick. Let's see what it's looking like. And it looks pretty decent, right? It's had its first little pump and then pull back. Looks like it's on the 786. So, you can pull out a little fib if you wanted to. You can draw that in. And then you can start to work this thing. Now, right off the bat, what I like is it already pops up, or you have a little pop-up where it says top 10 holders have 19%. Now, I don't think that's egregious. Nowadays, for the most part, I mean, you get top 10 holders 25%. I'd say max on something like this, right? And you can come down here, like I said earlier, to really make sure that you understand the distribution, right, of the top holders. Okay, you can check here. You can see how many of them have rat symbols. How many of them are insiders by looking at the symbols, right? So let's go back to that, and I wanted to show you how to filter really quickly. And the filters that I would use for these two specific columns, I'm not going to mess with this one because I don't really recommend most people, 99.9% of people should not be messing around with this side. Most likely you will get wrecked. I don't even like to play on that side. But for these two columns here, I think, intermediate here, good. Intermediate here, good. Intermediate to advanced, I would say here. So filters I would use on this middle column, make sure you click off the top 10 holders. They have at least one social media account, whether that's a Telegram, a Twitter, website, something, right? And then I would say here, as far as the developer holding, I would say 15% max, and then 100 holders total, 20% insider wallet supply, and then I would say bot users at least 25 minimum. Okay, and then you can come down here, I would say 45 minutes. Okay, and then you can go ahead and click apply. Maybe 45 minutes is too narrow. Maybe you can go 90 minutes, but that's how I would set it up for maximum optimization. And then as far as this far right column, I would say Again, same as the other one, except for I would change developer holding could be about 20%. Insider wallets about 20%. I would say bot users. I want this one to have gone up because this means this project's been going for a little while longer, right? So I want more bot users to have accumulated or have noticed this project and started to jump on it. And then total age, I would say minimum. Let's say minimum. I would say 3 hours. What's 3 hours? 207. What? 180 minutes? No, 180, 270. Let's just say 300 minutes. I would say those would be the good filters for this one. This one, maybe I want to extend out a little bit more. Let's do 90 minutes. I meant to put it on the minimum column. So that's how I set these up, guys. And then you can probably have much better luck finding the better options, better trades, better projects by using those specific filters. Now, outside of that, one other thing I did forget to mention was the fact that you can use multi-charts. So on the far left drop down menu, you can add as many charts as you wanted to. So for example, if you found a chart that you liked in that section we were just in, and you wanted to save it because you wanted to continue doing some research, you can actually just copy the contract address right here. I believe right here. And then if you were to come down back to the multi-chart view, you can just add chart right here by clicking the plus button, pasting it in the search bar. There you go. Okay, now we have our two charts. And you can add, I don't know how many you can add here, but I haven't tried. Let's see. It looks like 8 out of 10. So you can do 10 charts. Not that you would ever need more than, trying to make yourself dizzy with more than 10 charts. But it's nice to know that you can just have something like this that you can monitor each chart as you do some research. You can just come back and forth to this section and make sure that you're not lost and not getting super confused by being organized. Another nice feature about this platform is that you can scroll down to the right hand side and you can see those metrics that we were looking at earlier a lot easier by just looking here. You can see the top 10 holders, developer holding, as well as the amount of insiders still holding. You can check the percentages right here. If you didn't want to just, scroll here and have to, mess with your UI, you can just go over and scroll to the right and see these metrics that are some of the most important metrics on the chart, including the bot holders, right? I want to know how many bot holders are still trading this project. This gives me an idea of how many people that are educated and that are probably making good decisions that are still in the project. So I like to know these metrics, and so it's nice to see that you can just scroll down to the bottom and see those really quickly. Also, if you wanted to make this platform or this section of the user interface a little bit bigger, you can come and grab this little arrow and you can click it, and not that, and open up the UI so it's a little bit bigger and you can see it a lot easier, and it's just a lot more visually appealing. And that way, when you're ready to buy or sell again, you can come back and click the button once again, and now you have this part of the user interface at your disposal. So I hope this helps you out, guys, and hope this makes it a lot easier on you as far as your trading goes. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Try and go do something nice for somebody else. And most of all, try not to get wrecked.